Hey everyone, it's Penberthy here. Welcome back to another video right here on the channel where I'm going to be talking about how you can put together Instagram video ads that absolutely crush it for you. Instagram has been a growing platform over the course of the past few years, and it's now become a staple part of our advertising strategy. We put a ton of our ad budget on Instagram, and there's a reason it's working very well. I'm gonna share some exciting stats with you, but I'm also gonna go into the 3 or 4 things that I haven't decided yet. It's gonna be 3 or 4 things that make Instagram so powerful and is working very, very well for us. So stay tuned. So firstly, if you're new to the channel, my name's Penberthy. Welcome here. I help entrepreneurs and business owners grow their businesses online and sell more of their products and services. If you'd like to learn more about how I can help you, we'll leave a link in the description box or the top comment to a free web class that I've got that I think will really help you on this topic. And also, I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. That really helps us out. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to Instagram is the fact that it's not only just a growing platform, but it is one that has been proven, but there's less competition on it than Facebook, right? So if we look at the stats that we're gonna throw up on the screen here, according to Statistica, if you look at the stats for 2018, and now what we're looking at is Instagram's revenue in the billions, right? So in 2018, Instagram did something, I don't remember exactly, but we're throwing up on the screen, somewhere in the region of 6 to 8 billion in ad revenue in 2018, right? Now, if you look at Facebook here, now the graph looks slightly different, but on Facebook in 2018, they did something like 50 or 60 billion in ad revenue. What do we learn from this? We learn that Instagram is not just a brand new platform that we're gonna have no success on because it hasn't been proven yet. Last year, in 2018, advertisers like me and you, we spent somewhere in the region of 6 to 8 billion on the platform. So it's been proven. So when we jump on there, we're not gonna be a guinea pig, but what we also learn with those stats is that there's tons, in fact, almost 10 times less competition on Instagram than there is on Facebook, all right? And that leads me on to my second point, why Instagram is so prominent and so powerful right now, is because of that stat. Because there is like 10 times less advertising spend being spent on that platform, it makes the traffic cheaper. And we've proven this time and time again when we have run a campaign and we've had one going on Facebook and we've had one going on Instagram, the exact same video ad going to the exact same page, targeting the exact same audience, our campaigns and our traffic is always cheaper on Instagram. In fact, I shouldn't say always, because sometimes there's the anomaly, right? But 95% of the time, Instagram is cheaper for us, and it's for those 2 reasons. So hopefully you understand at this point in the video that Instagram is prominent, right? It should become a part of your advertising strategy. But now I want to talk about how you can stand out on the Instagram platform. Because if you look at the stats, and if you can see this by just going on Instagram yourself, but if you actually look at the stats, 72% of the posts on Instagram are images, right? Nothing wrong with that. It started as an image focused platform, and then they introduced video. I can't remember how many years ago, I think a couple of years ago, they introduced video onto the platform, but it was primarily an image sharing platform. And that's been the case up until now. So if you think about this, if we're trying to stand out, especially as advertisers, right? Or even if you're just a business owner, you've got a product or a service that you're just trying to get more customers for, whatever situation you're in, I'm classing us all as advertisers in the sense that we are looking to run traffic to get them to our offers, right? To hopefully turn people into customers. So when we're on that platform and we're trying to stand out with our ads, one way that we can do that is by using video. And that's the primary outlet that I'm using right now when we're running our ads on Instagram. Is yes, we do run occasionally some image ads with some text, but to be honest, we're really just using video. And we're finding that is crushing the numbers for our image or text-based ads, specifically on Instagram, because video disrupts the newsfeed. It's different. Okay, 72% is images, so the video is the minority, so it gets a little bit more of that kind of pattern interrupt. Okay, now I want to mention something else, because on Facebook we're kind of seeing the opposite. Sometimes text and images work better on Facebook. So this is where you've got to understand, there's almost like a side point here that I didn't realize I was going to be sharing, that you've got to understand different platforms and the audiences on those platforms interact differently. All right, so you've got to keep that in mind. It's not like a one size fits all. You can't just create one ad and think that it's always going to work the same running it as a YouTube ad, an Instagram ad, a Facebook ad, if you're going to try and do something on Pinterest or Snapchat or Twitter, like all these social platforms, the way the audiences interact, although they're the same human being, right? I might log on to Instagram, I'm also going to log on to Twitter or Facebook. It's the same human beings logging on, but they interact on these platforms differently, and you've got to start to learn and understand how that process works. And this is one of them, right? Instagram video is working really, really well. So what I want to do right now, for the duration of the video now, is I want to share with you two types of video ads that you can run on Instagram that do really well for us, and I think it could do the same for you. In fact, I want to share with you, I want to kind of break down one of the scripts that I use as well, that I teach to our clients and our customers. I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek at that here too, right? So there's two types of ads that we run. We run video ads on the news feed, okay, and they can be anywhere up to 2 minutes in length, right? Now on Instagram, if you're just posting an organic piece of content, it can only be currently, at the time of shooting this, 1 minute. Whereas if you're running an advertisement on Instagram, they allow you 2 minutes worth, right? And it's kind of worth, in most cases, it's worth utilizing the full 2 minutes, all right? So that's the first thing, is we're gonna run newsfeed video ads. The second thing is swipe up story ads. And these are the ones that are 15 minutes in length. And they're the ones that you see at the very top of Instagram. And you can scroll through and you can kind of get a quick snapshot of what your friends are up to, and then you can put an ad in there. So they're like the sponsored story ads, and they're 15 seconds, right? So you've got these two types of videos. So I'm gonna talk you through how you approach each of them and kind of the benefits of both, and I'm gonna give you some kind of rough scripts for each as well. Okay, so let's start with the newsfeed ads, right? I like these because unlike the swipe up ads that are 15 seconds, you're not really getting much chance to indoctrinate the audience or build a relationship or emotionally compel them. You can't really do a great deal in 15 seconds. So we'll talk about that in a minute. With a newsfeed ad that's 1 to 2 minutes, you can actually. Still not as long as maybe a video that you could run on Facebook that's 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes in length. All right, but you can still get your message across in that period of 1 to 2 minutes and build a little bit of a relationship, right? But you've got to be really strategic in what you try and cram in to that 1 to 2 minute video. So let me give you a little script. I've got a script that I teach our students and our customers. It's called the fishhook script. And the reason it's called the fishhook script is because you're essentially building a video around one topic, one key thing that is going to compel the audience into action. Okay, and when I say action, I'm not saying into buying your products or services or kind of like that's an action that's quite a way down the track. We're talking about the immediate next step, which in most cases it's to come and join your email list, right? Or sign up for a freebie or whatever it is. That's the next step. So we want to focus on one core thing, one message, one fish hook that's going to attract someone into wanting to move forward and perform the next action that you want them to, all right? Like I said, most likely opting in to your list. And so what this fish hook can be, it can be maybe a pain point. It could be a desired outcome that you know that they want. It could be a myth buster, as I sometimes call it with our clients, like you're busting a myth in the industry. Whatever it is, you're focusing around one thing. So let's say, for example, let's say you're in the weight loss industry, right? So you're gonna bust the myth that everyone at any age should train the exact same way, right? That like, you know, and so the whole video is focused around the fact that some people in the industry just say, look, here's your workout plan and you can all use that to get in shape. And your message in the ad, your fish hook, your one central point to have you stand out is that you're busting that myth and you're saying, actually, no, it doesn't work like that. You know, if you're gonna train in your 20s and you're gonna train in your 60s, you have to train differently. Like it's just the way it is, right? I'm not even in that space, but even I understand it. So you could come across with that kind of message, right? Let's say, for example, I actually have a client of ours that is working in this space. He teaches people how to get in shape over 50 years of age. So we've actually used this, which is why it's fresh on my mind, because one of our fish hooks, one of our ads is where we're targeting the crowd of people that are over 50 years old. And we're essentially saying, look, how many of you have seen those videos of the young guns, the 20-year-olds that are showing you how to train like this and this and this and this. And you're getting frustrated because one, you're thinking, I'm not even sure I can train like that. And for those of you that have tried to train like that, you're not really seeing the results you want. Maybe it's actually causing you pain and discomfort. That's because you have to train differently if you're over 50 than if you're under 50. It's just proven. And if you try and follow those plans of the people in your 20s, you're going to injure yourself. You're not going to see the results you want, and blah, 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 blah. You go on and you go on and you go on, and you just wrap that whole thing. That one message of train differently over 50 than under 50, and you're gonna tie that in with a nice little message that confirms that, right? That's the fish hook. Those are the types of videos that work really well on the Instagram newsfeed. It's something that is quick, snappy, to the point, 1 to 2 minutes, that addresses one central point that you focus the whole video ad around, and it works really, really well. In fact, what I might do, Pete, if we remember to do this, let's put a link to some examples in the description box. So you can see down there maybe some examples of like these types of ads that I'm running for my company and the stuff that we're doing, all right? So then let's move on to the swipe up ads, right? So this works very, very differently, okay? You're seeing some examples of them coming up on the screen here. These are very quick. Also, you're recording them like this, right? Oh, where's my phone? Oh, we're using it for the thing. So you've got your, I totally forgot that. So you've got your phone, right? And you're recording it like this. So you're recording it vertically. So it's also a different type of ad because you don't want to record a story video with your phone horizontally because you're not taking up much room, and maybe we can visually show that some way, Pete. You want to have it vertically so you fill their phone screen, right? So firstly, you're filming it differently, really important. This is another reason why you can't just use the same video in these two different scenarios on Instagram. But the other thing is, you've literally got 15 seconds. They used to be 10 seconds. And then Instagram realized that 10 seconds is probably too short. They increased it to 15 seconds. It's still, it's a lot to fit in, right? So here's a kind of structure that you can follow, right? And again, this is what I teach to my clients if we do the swipe up ads. It goes like this: you, me, link. I know it sounds really simple, but we're essentially starting by talking about them. We're saying you. We're talking about them, where they're at, who we know they are, okay, which is calling out your ideal customers. Then me is you addressing who you are and how you can help them and what you've got on offer. And then link is then drawing them to the call to action. What do they do next? Where should they click, right? So an example might be, if you're in the fitness space, you might say, and this is where you're doing the you're calling them out, then you introduce yourself and then you do the call to action. So you might say, I've got to make sure it's in 15 seconds, otherwise this is a terrible example. So you might say something like, are you filming? Are you timing me, Pete? All right. Hey, listen, it's John Penberthy here, and chances are, if you're in a position where you feel like you're back up. Let's cut that out. Let's actually cut that from the video too. All right, so let's try an example. So Pete, maybe you want to time me. So let's say you're in the fitness space. You're going to say something like, hey, listen, chances are if you're in a position where you feel out of shape, you feel you don't have as much confidence as you did in your youth, and you know you want to change something. Listen, my name's John Penberthy. Over the past 10 years, I've helped people get in shape, get some better results, and I've got a free ebook I'd love to give you. Click, swipe up, and I'll see you there. Something like that. That's a terrible example. I can do better. Pete, let's do it again. Was that really 15 seconds? Okay, I've really got to cut this down. I've shot myself in the foot saying I'm going to give an example. I'm going to focus on lack of confidence. No confidence. You want confidence. Here's the link. All right. So here's the example. Again, fitness space. All right, here's what we're going to do. Hey, just real quick, if you're in a position where you've been trying to get in shape and everything you're trying is not working and you're feeling like you're lacking in confidence and something's got to change, over the past 5 years, I've been teaching people how to get in shape and feel good about themselves, and I've done a free training for you. Swipe up and you can get access to it. Boom. We did it. All right, finally, example done. So that's an example of a 15-second one that I just kind of murdered that example. But anyway, you kind of get the idea. See, that kind of demonstrates to you how difficult it actually is to say what you need to in 15 seconds. So usually, if we're actually on a video shoot like this, but we are intentionally doing some swipe up ads, we usually take, how many takes, Pete? Maybe sometimes like literally 20, sometimes maybe 25. Like, because he's timing me behind the camera that I'm getting it done in 15 seconds. And so it's always 16. We have to cut it down by a second. Damn it, John. So it's difficult to cram in. So try and follow that structure, even within that piece. So you, me, and what to do next, right? And click the link. So when would you want to use these types of swipe up ads? Well, here's a couple of ways that you need to approach using it. The first is as a remarketing tool to people who have already interacted in your business in some way. So let's say someone's already seen one of your newsfeed ads or an ad of yours on Facebook or YouTube. So now they're already kind of in your world, they understand who you are, they know what you're about. And so now we can use those swipe ups as a way to interact with them again. So you could say something like, in the ad, you could say something like, hey, it's John Penberthy here again, and chances are you signed up for my web class earlier on this week and you didn't get a chance to see it. Listen, I've got the recording that I want to give you. It's really going to help you. It's this. Swipe up and you can check that out before we take it down. You know, so you could use it as that kind of vehicle where you're using it for remarketing, right? And another way to use it is if you're going to use it to target cold traffic, okay? So people that have never heard of you before, then what you need to understand is you're not getting the indoctrination done on the ad, so you need to do it on the landing page, right? Like usually it's the other way around. Usually if we're going out with a detailed Facebook ad or a detailed video and something that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes long, we're already indoctrinating them on that social platform. They're already, they already know about us. They're kind of emotionally involving themselves with us. They feel, it's just that they're getting to know us, right? So then by the time they click, it's more of a qualified click. They've clicked on the ad because they actually liked what they saw from you. So they're kind of ready to move forward. So we can strip back our landing pages, make them far simpler because it's more about getting just the impulsive opt-in at that point. Whereas if you're doing swipe up ads to cold traffic that's never heard of you before, okay, then chances are they're not ready to actually sign up on the next page. It's a very, very impulsive decision on the story ad. They've seen you for 15 seconds, like, okay, well, who the heck's this guy? Let's swipe up and see what he's about. But they haven't clicked with an intention to move forward. So on that landing page, you just need to give a bit more, right? More copy or another video or something that then indoctrinates them. You're indoctrinating them somewhere. On the story video, it's the opposite, right? So hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay, so listen, hopefully that was helpful for you. I wanted to do this video to talk about Instagram because it has become such a prominent part of my business and it's taking a lot of my ad budget and it's doing very, very well. I wanted to put this video together to give you some tips on that. So hopefully this was helpful for you. If it was, do me a favor, hit the like button below this video. Also leave me a comment. I love reading through those. And also hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification. I'm putting out a couple of videos on this channel per week. So come back and check us out and make sure you're notified of those. And if you'd like to go in more detail on this whole world of advertising on Instagram and also on Facebook, we've got a free training I think you'll really, really like. I'll leave a link to that in the description box and also the top comment. Scroll down, check that out. I think you'll really like it. It's a 90-minute presentation, absolutely free, and we go into excruciating detail on this stuff, so I think you'll like that. With that, I appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and I'll see you in a future one.